guys, so we are basically doing it's kind of like a dream build. Essentially what happened is me and my husband have been searching for a home for months now. We've been looking through blueprints, we've looked at house plans, we've looked at houses themselves. We've just been trying to find one that fits our needs and what we want as a family. For those of you who are new to my channel or just don't know much of my backstory, you're welcome to join my Discord, which is down below. You can learn more about me and our fun fam and everything else, but neither here nor there. Essentially, I have 6 kids. 5 still live with me, and we need a house with at least 4 bedrooms, because it needs to have at least 3 additional on top of ours, to make everything cohesive. And what we want to do is we want to have it to where I can have my own office, so that recording and doing twitchy things and YouTube things, etc., is not as complicated for me. I'm also a contractor. I work at home, so it's also easier if I can just kind of work at my own pace or my own hours without disturbing any other members of my family. So I'm recreating this blueprint, and I'm making a series basically of all of our different houses we have viewed so far and are going to continue to view. I'm very indecisive. My husband's very indecisive. This is going to be our forever home, so we want to make sure we pick the right place. And we were talking about it on Discord, and some of my Oogie Boogie fam, or my Discord fam, basically, were wanting to know what we were looking at. And after sending screenshots and trying to talk about it, it's like so much to talk about just typing in a Discord. So I was like, you know what, let's do something fun with it. And they kind of wanted to get in on it with me. And I said, how about I make it into a YouTube series? Basically, you guys come along and you can watch me build stuff and do stuff. As far as the blueprints go, I could turn it into speed builds, so you guys aren't stuck watching, things slowly progress over like a Twitch stream, which, I do post at my Twitch stuff, so that happens. The kitchen was a little hooky because the blueprint was angled, and it was a little weird. I wasn't sure how I wanted it at first, because we talked to the person who gave us this blueprint, and they said that we could definitely take out the solid wall that was there on the blueprint, which we definitely did not want the big wall that closed off. Basically, the U that you're going to see here in just a minute, it's going to be a bar. We want to open that up and basically turn it into a bar. I didn't like... At first I was like, oh, it's a U, it's not really a square or a rectangle, so I had to mess around with it and fiddle with some stuff to get it to fit right. And then I had to play around with it to see how I liked it, since it is going to be a custom bit for us. They are going to custom that for us. That messed up a little bit. I had to figure that out. I figured it out later, how to fix that. I wanted to fix the U first to make sure that was proper before I went on. I mean, obviously we wouldn't have that dangly square bit at the end, but it's Sims. You can only repair so much of it before there's no repairing it, I guess you could say. I probably could have messed with it more and got it perfect, but it was fine. It was honestly frustrating me, and I didn't want to spend way too long trying to figure it out. Also, the blueprint said the fridge should be right there, which is why they had a wall there where that bar is. We opted to not put our fridge there, and we're just going to stick it there instead, because it kind of goes into the quote-unquote dining room. We don't really use a dining room too often in our family. I will have one, but it's going to be a very unused space, except for big family holidays, where we are going to have a bigger table, which is why I picked a bigger table to put in that area, because once again, 8 people in our family. And I definitely wanted an island. We have said for many times over the past few years that an island is a must, because me and my husband are both cookers. I love to cook. It's something that I really, really love to do. I love to entertain for my family. I love to have little gatherings. I'm not sure I want that one divider wall right there where the The dining room is kind of cut off to, um, I'm not going to do it in this edit because I wanted to do more like the blueprint. I didn't want to stray too much from the blueprint because, I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing, is recreating the blueprint. So I was trying to figure out this closet, and I realized I was making it way too big. And I was trying to match the scale of the blueprint, which was, it was actually a lot more complicated than I guess I thought it was going to be. And when I build, I like to kind of put, I guess, the furniture that might end up there, or at least the size of the furniture I want, so I can build around it. As you'll see, I do sometimes replace the stuff I have put in there, because obviously I want different stuff, but it is a good placeholder, or I'll just use the paint tool and change the color. I thought that would be the entrance to the closet. I do change it here in a minute. But it's really, it's very interesting, and I know it was a garden tub that's going to be in it, but we do have a garden tub in Sims, but it's like a triangle, and ours is going to be a square garden tub. So that was the best I could do as far as Sims goes, to make a square tub. Um, so just that's the only thing we're gonna have to use our imagination on just a little bit, that is going to be a square tub and not a clawfoot tub, unfortunately, which would be really neat if I had like a, well, I guess it's not even a clawfoot, that's like a ground copper tub. Anyway, so this is the master bathroom we're working on right now. I will say our bathroom and our closet and stuff is a lot more customized than the rest of the house, because that is where my husband and I do spend a lot of time, because we do have, you know, the kids and the family and everything else. They tend to spend a lot of time in the other parts of the house, so we tend to kind of chill out in our bedrooms a lot. It's probably going to change as we get this house, because this house, I'm hoping, is going to set it up to where everybody has their own little spaces and stuff. I realized that I left out a bedroom, so I kind of had to fix that. That's what I'm doing here. I realized it was wrong as far as the blueprint goes, so I had to fiddle with that. I had to fiddle with it even more to get the closet work done, because I did want the official closets to be put there, which was a little bit of work, but we got it figured out in the end. I know one bedroom is kind of tiny in comparison to the blueprint, but once again, Sims, it's a little rough to get the exact measurements on Sims stuff, and that's fine. I mean, it was fun doing it, so it doesn't matter if it's perfect. The one thing I do realize that I did, that I can't not believe I did in this build, I put that bed in front of the closet, so of course in Sims it's not going to work. In real life it's not really going to work either, so that bed would have to get moved around, but I didn't move it, so just take that with a grain of salt, that is in the wrong place. I do realize that. I know it's in the wrong place. I am going to fix it. I just didn't fix it for this video because I already recorded it and everything else. So just let it be known that I'm aware I screwed that up, and I would have to fix it to make it a proper blueprint or a proper house. I will fix it before I load it into the gallery. I am going to put all these on the gallery. I'll probably do like hashtag dreamhouse, and then like hashtag Nubu, because that's my name, Nubu Girl. It's what I tend to go by in all of the Sims community type places, my Discord, my Twitch. When I hang out in Sims groups or whatever, everyone knows me as Nubu Girl, or Nubu. Let's see. So the back, me and my husband have been going back and forth on whether or not we want a back porch. We haven't decided yet, so I didn't add one because we just haven't decided as a couple if we want one. We definitely want a front porch. I technically want a couple rocking chairs in the front porch. We don't have rocking chairs yet. I do know it's coming though. Nifty Knitting is coming and we will get our rocking chairs, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait for that to happen. They don't really have entertainment centers, but we have one in our bedroom, so I used the one that was in Tiny Living. Well, I mean, they have an entertainment center. They have the one from Tiny Living, and that's the only option really. So that's what we went with. And this is just me plopping lights everywhere because it's hard to see in Sims and Build when you can't see what you're doing. So this room I'm doing right now would be my office, my creative space. And we've been going back and forth whether or not me and my husband wanted to stick both of our computers in there and share the space. Um, and we haven't decided yet. If we do, we'll rearrange the furniture, but if we don't share the space, then this is how I'm going to have it. Because it is, I think the blueprint said it was a 10 by 10 space. I can't recall right now, but I would have a permanent green screen up behind me so I can stop doing the taking it up, taking it down, taking it up, taking it down, which is what I do right now. I do use a video camera on all of my live streams. Probably some of my other YouTube videos I'm going to as well. But I think speed builds, it kind of, you're going through things so fast, and you're trying to show the products you're using and the items you're using, the items you're using while building, that I thought putting, my face up might be like, hey, I can't see what you're choosing because your big old face is there. So I didn't do that. I'm not using a vid camera for this. I was gonna put up a TV on the wall, but I was like, you're supposed to be recreating your house. You don't have a TV on the wall. I don't know why you're trying to do that. So I grabbed like a TV stand, which is kind of what we have now. And I know I've got Grimm's guitar because my husband is actually a bass player. They don't have basses in The Sims, so I grabbed a guitar instead, um, just to kind of resemble what he does have. We are probably just going to have some basic like UFO dim, lights, kind of like what they have there, because I don't know. I really don't tend to care what lights look like in my house, except for in the kitchen and the dining room. I know I'm weird, but that's just how it is. In the blueprint, there is a laundry room, so I really kind of did the laundry room up. There's one additional bathroom, which would be the kids' bathroom. The kitchen, I tried to really good. The main places me and my husband tend to frequent tends to be our bedroom and the kitchen. Like I said, we're both really into cooking. Um, it's a huge thing in our family, and yeah, so definitely gonna have a nice kitchen. Um, and then I try to think of ways to make, our the spaces more useful. So as I went along, I was trying to think of the furniture that we would use, what we already had, and what we'd be adding in. Um, and and also a little trick. I don't know if any of you knew about this, but in Sims, if you use that disc light and you make it really tiny, you can fit it underneath other lights, which is what I just did there. I put it underneath the chandelier, and it actually makes the chandelier brighter. So yeah, so it's like a little Sims hack. Um, and then we talked about what we're going to do with the living room because, I mean, technically it is a living space, but my husband's already claimed that the back den area, which is going to be like kind of his spot, is where the main TV and his, music equipment and stuff like that is going to go. We were told we could customize the kitchen cabinets how we wanted. So I spent a little bit of time fiddling around with this, trying to see what I liked, what I hated. So you'll see me kind of go back and forth a little bit with different things. And I also, at one point in time, I think I slowed down for a minute and paused, talked to my husband about it while I was doing this, and changed things around. I do have a little hanger like that I would want to incorporate into my kitchen somewhere. So this actually looks really accurate for what we were talking about because we want to have shelves for our spices. I know some people have the spinny racks, which I have one, but we have so many spices. Like, you guys would probably make fun of us with how many spices we have in our family, because we cook lots of stuff. We have a variety of different things we cook. We have we cook things from different countries, Thai food, Indian food, Chinese food, Japanese food. Like, we seriously hit so many different countries. Moroccan. And we have lots of different spices because we just like to experiment and play in the kitchen and have fun in the kitchen. So, and I also wanted a place to put my cookbooks. So I was like, for anything that can't fit in the circular spice rack that we have, the one that spins, I wanted to have shelves, extra shelves to be able to put my spices. And I also wanted a place to put my cookbooks. So that's why those shelves were there. And now this is me kind of just looking around, seeing what I've forgotten to do, what I have done, making sure everywhere had lights, making sure everywhere had flooring, which me and my husband hate carpet with every fiber of our being. So we will have wood or faux wood, whatever you want to say. Probably faux wood because it's just cheaper, easier to clean, more, and you know, I would love real wood, but that's also really expensive. We do have bar stools that I've been dying to use. They were given to me as a present by my sister, and I haven't used them since I got them. We're also coffee addicts. You can probably tell from my channel. We have issues with coffee, so there has to be a coffee maker out there somewhere. My husband also drinks a lot of tea and a lot of juices, so I put a picture out. Yeah, so this is basically, I'm trying to put a little bit of us out there. Hot sauce you will always see on our counters or right there next to our stove because my husband and my kids all love spicy, spicy hot stuff. Hence because my husband is actually Cajun, he's from Louisiana, so yeah, lots of spicy stuff in our family. Yeah, this is me just adding some. I wanted it to feel realistic. I didn't want it to feel like a showroom house. I wanted it to feel more like a little bit lived in so we could get a real representation of what it would feel like to live here. We do have dogs and cats. So, yep, there's all that stuff. I do. And then I try to personalize it for each room as far as posters and what stuff would look like. Just different stuff. This is my two littlest boys stuff that I put up. This one, he's into like a lot of animal stuff and positivity, and the other one's more of a gamer and really into crazy like art and stuff. And then this one, yeah, so it's crazy. And then I mentioned, I said I was going to have 5 kids in the house. I'm only going to have 4 kids in the house. Sorry. My other daughter is moving out in November, so by the time we have a home, she will no longer be with us. So I misspoke earlier. Sorry about that. So just trying to poke through and figure out how to make everything work. My husband does not have his own desk/computer yet, so when I mentioned that we're going to have to find a place where we're going to stick his stuff, we're not stressed over doing it right now because right now he just doesn't have that yet. Those are goals, plans for the future. And I have a lot of paintings and photographs because I also do a lot of photography. My son also does a lot of photography. And recently I just gave him a lot of photography gear, so I added some photo stuff to his room too. Actually, right now, look at that. There we go. I'm adding photo stuff to his room because I'm teaching him how to use his camera properly. And yeah, so for his Christmas present, he got a camera and a bag and some shading stuff and a tripod. Yeah, we hooked him up. And I've been taking him on a lot of different photo shoots, trying to just get him out there and experiencing photography because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. More clutter stuff, put stuff to put in their rooms. Like as I'm scrolling through, I'm seeing stuff like, oh, that would go in his room, or ooh, that would go in my room, or ooh, that would be perfect for the living room. That's why I'm flopping from room to room. I know some people finish all one room at once. Not me. I scroll through and notice things and I'm like, ooh, that would go good there. I think that's kind of how I shop too. I'm not a super organized shopper. I know I should be, but I'm not. I am kind of, if I see it and want it, I kind of fly over and get it. See, there's the cookbooks I was talking about. Definitely sticking those up there. I also stick some spices up on the shelf, like I mentioned. That is definitely a thing in my kitchen. Lots of spices, spice racks, noodles, wow, just lots of stuff. I think the only thing we didn't like about this blueprint, which is one of the reasons why we didn't jump at this being our quote-unquote dream home, is there's no pantry, which is a little upsetting. because I know the laundry room is kind of big, but honestly, in that laundry room, in the actual blueprints, there is a furnace and a water heater, so we can't really put a pantry in there. At least I don't logically think that we can put a pantry in there. Um, that's something that we thought about as we were, leaving when we left the place, and we started talking about it, discussing what we thought, what we liked, what we didn't like. Um, and that's definitely on that list of this is something we were really wanting was a pantry. Because I'm a canner. I do canned foods. I'm also, I don't want to say I'm a food hoarder, but I'm a bit of a food hoarder because I do coupon and stuff like that. Not as much since COVID started, but I like to have enough food in my house to last 2 weeks to a month. I'm just built that way. I can't help it. I was raised that way by my grandmother. She always said, "Have what you just have it on hand." I think it's because she went through the Great Depression, so having all that stuff ready to go on hand was a very important thing. I liked those because that's kind of what I have in my house. I have like 4 or 5 different bookcases, but I hated in The Sims how they all looked identical. I was like, no, that's not going to work for me. So I put this one up instead. And then I saw Baby Yoda, so I had to stick that in my son's room because my second to youngest son is a huge Star Wars fan, along with his dad. So just putting up different things that I thought fit us as far as what we already have as artwork, personality-wise, yada yada. Some of that spinning went a little bit fast for this 8-speed thing going on here. Sorry about that. So don't lose your marbles too much. I will do a slow stroll through all of this once it's done. But this is just a speed build just to kind of show you what I've done, what's going on, how it looks. So I'm hoping I'm at the right speed. If you guys think this is way too fast, tell me, and I can definitely slow it down for my next video, or I could even possibly go back in and slow this one down and repost it. I was contemplating some awnings, and then after I contemplated it for a minute, I was like, no, it's not in the blueprints, and my husband never mentioned wanting awnings, so I ixnayed that idea. I just kind of tossed it out. I hated those colors I had, so I started playing around with the different colors, figuring out what I wanted. Because we're past the point of just laying stuff down just to make it lay there. Now we're to the point of making sure everything's the way I would actually want it. So that what I'm going to do, well, what I already did, but what I plan on doing is after every build, I'm going to show it to my husband, and we'll talk it over some more. And he actually looked at this, and he was like, wow, this actually looks a lot like that house, and with all of our stuff in it, it gives me just different thoughts on it all. So I think I'm going down the right, I guess, path as far as building this stuff, because I feel like it's giving, I guess, my husband the option to know how I would decorate it and how it would look if we got our hands on it, basically. Sims is letting us do that, and I think it's really neat. I also love that my community can kind of come in and take a look at it too, and we can all just talk about it and laugh about it and just go over what we're seeing. So this is a very, very fun project. Now I'm just doing the decorating because it's like, I know I said I was a food hoarder, but I'm also a neat hoarder, I guess you could say. Like, I collect stuff, but it's cohesive and it fits in the space. And if it doesn't fit in the space, I do get rid of it. I give it away or sell it. So while I do tend to hoard things, I don't hoard things that don't fit in my house. So I do have stuff, but every stuff has its place. Every stuff has its place. Yeah, there we go. That's a phrase. That's the phrase we're looking for, right? But yeah, so this is just me poking through, getting the decorations perfect, so when I show it to him, he'll get an idea of exactly what it's going to look like. I hate when you pull away. It's hard to get some of the stuff properly on the shelves because you're so far away, and then you get up close, you're like, oh, well, that's just hovering over it. Yay, Sims! Sometimes I love Sims to death, but sometimes it drives me a little crazy with the building. But I mean, that's just dealing with, logistics. And I couldn't figure out why those were different sizes. It didn't even clue into me that was because they were further away from each other than they should have been. See, that one's way up in the sky, and that one's way down on the shelf. That's why they were different sizes. Yeah. So, and then that thing was giving me the hardest time because I actually do have a couple of boxes just like that, and I do have boxes of files that I keep, which is like kids records, medical records, dog records, cat records, well, vet records basically. um, I have shoe boxes of pictures. Even though I know almost everything's digital now, I still have photographs because I can't help it. I'm a photographer. I like hard photos. I like things I can hold in my hand and put on my wall. um, it's a thing. It's kind of like with my books. I like physical books that I can touch. um, so I'm a little bit weird about that too. So this is me putting the final touches and everything, making sure every room has stuff because we don't really have bare walls. I'm not a big fan of bare walls. I like walls having things on them. So I didn't want this house to be any different. I wanted every room to kind of look like the way it would if we actually had it in real life. So this means me poking around, making sure I've got everything the way we would have it, because I want to give a real representation of everything. Um, yeah, so basically the moving of sim stuff, if you are unfamiliar with how I'm doing stuff if you see me move objects backwards and then things are floating in the air, with the Sims, if you do bb.moveobjects on, space on, basically it allows you to use the Control 9 button and raise things up in the air. However, if it's a clickable item, when I say clickable, I mean like the item will click to it like it does to a shelf or to like a dresser or a table. There are clickable spots on those items in Sims. So you have to move those items out of the way. The best way to do that is to place the item on the clickable spot, with using, and then and use control when doing that, so that when you move the item out of the way, you can slide the item back into place, and the thing you're trying to put in an awkward location that you don't want clickable, basically you just gotta eyeball it and get it in the right spot, and then put the table or whatever back. Sometimes it takes a couple times to get it right. I was trying to decide what I wanted there. It's really hard to figure out what I wanted. And then I talked to my husband for a minute. You're going to see pause here for a second. And well, maybe you saw, wow, that went fast. I think I talked to him already because we had discussed what kind of roof we wanted. And we definitely wanted like a metal roof, because they last longer. Easier to clean, just different reasons. But we also live in the South, and we get lots of rainstorms. so this is one of the smaller plans we looked at. We have looked at bigger houses. I think this is probably the smallest plan we've looked at. And this is actually probably the one we've liked the most. We're not sold on it yet. We're still looking because we just want to make sure we get the right place. I did not landscape the entire thing, because I was just trying to give a visual from the front to my husband what it would look like. This was me fiddling around with it, trying to get it right, and then realizing, oh, I was in the wrong thing. So finalizing all of this, polishing it off with some pretty flowers, because I like gardening. I am not a great gardener. I actually kind of have a black thumb, but I'm trying to turn it into a green thumb. I've been working on it. I've actually got vegetables and stuff that I've actually kept alive for longer than a month now. I'm very proud of myself in that aspect. And then I realized that bush was hanging into the house, which is a Sims thing. Sometimes if you have trees up against your house, they will poke through the walls, which I hated. So here's my tour. This is me done. There's the kitchen. And what it looked like at the final stages when I showed it to my husband. This is the sitting area. Those will be actual pictures, not just blank frames. Um, and then here's the bedroom. This is the master. It probably will actually eventually have more like photos and stuff like that than it does in this room. This is my office, my Twitch slash YouTube studio. And then we go into the master bathroom, jeez, I can't talk, bathroom, shower on the right, which is a mandatory for my husband. My husband's tall, really needs a shower. He can't stand baths. I like baths after um, a long day. I do kind of hose off in the shower quick. Like, there's the closet, which I need for all of my boots. I need a big closet. But yeah, I take a quick shower and then hop in the bathtub. I don't know, I'm weird. I don't like just hopping straight into the bathtub. Um, One more shot of the sitting room. Actually, it's a really good shot of the sitting room. Um, and then we're going to, after heading through the kitchen and the dining room, we're going to head down. Um, we're going to head down the hallway and take a peek into the kids' rooms. This first door is my youngest kid's room. He's already told me. I was like, Mom, I don't need more space. There's the closet, the screwed up closet I told you guys about, which I don't even know if he would ever use, to be honest with you. But since he doesn't have a dresser in there, I'm assuming he would. Oh gosh, I have to move that. This is my second youngest kid's room. I probably, yeah, really into Star Wars. This is, of course, the laundry room, the utility room. Um, Honestly, instead of that shelving unit, I'd probably put my freezer there. I have a deep freezer. We don't have that in The Sims, so that's just a basic bathroom. Nothing to really talk about there. This is my other son's bedroom, which, depending on if my oldest son moves out, he may or may not have to share a room with him. We just put another bed in there if they did. They could just bunk together. And this would be my husband's, I don't know, playroom, sitting room, entertainment room, because, you know. And this, once again, is the blueprint. And there's the outside of the house. I hope you guys liked it. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for coming. Ring that bell. All those really cool YouTube things. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.